Well, here we are. Woke up
Yeah.
30 minutes ago, actually. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey,
Good
morning.
Good to see you. Robin's just making some coffee.
Okay, that's nice.
First we have tea and then we have coffee. We're in the transition period. And we opened this up a little bit earlier for you guys over there in Australia. Michael, is this a better time for you?
Yeah, it is, but I just got here. I just got in. So yes.
But that's okay.
Yeah, no, it is because it's 8 o'clock here now. So
I know, yeah, we wanted to make it a little bit earlier for you.
yeah, and I think for Diego as well, because I think Diego's in Sydney.
Right.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. No, it's much better, Kelly, because starting at 9 in the evening for me is I'm starting to wind down by then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So no, it's great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
For
welcome.
sure.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
You too.
Hi, Diego. Is it working for you? Better for you too, yeah?
Yeah, I can do either time. Fine. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
this is maybe a bit easier, but yeah, 8 or
No.
9.
Yeah, good.
Fine by me.
Thomas, you're in Sweden?
Yeah, I'm in Sweden.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
this is very good time.
It's a plenty good time.
Right. We're on the same
Sunday
time
morning.
zone. Right? Is it
Same.
is it the same time zone?
Yeah.
10
Yeah,
a.m.
we are
for
in
you?
the same time zone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I used to tour Sweden just all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. In the early 90s. We had a promoter out of Gothenburg.
Yeah.
Göteborg.
Yes. Göteborg.
Göteborg. And so we would be there sometimes twice a year.
Wow.
And we'd come back to Europe 2 and sometimes 3 times a year back in the kind of early to mid 90s. We were there just so much. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But I never get there anymore.
No, I haven't seen you in Sweden for a long time. We have some really nice jazz clubs here in
Yes,
Gothenburg.
I don't want to play clubs anymore.
Okay.
That's really it. I'm not on the road playing clubs anymore.
No.
I've been there and done that. It's okay for sitting in or something, but I just prefer theaters or nothing at all.
Mm.
Stadiums.
Stadiums. Yeah. Arenas.
Arenas, that's what I meant to say, yes.
Yeah. Well, we have Ullevi is a big football arena in Gothenburg.
Yeah. So
Takes 62,000 people.
That's quite a lot.
that's about right. I watched the World Cup yesterday. France and England, you know.
Yeah.
We have a good friend he's French and he's way off into it. And so he's kind of encouraged it. And so put the TV on last night. I got in about 12 minutes into the first quarter. Are the quarters 15 minutes? Are they like that? What are the quarters?
A quarter is 15 minutes. Yeah.
It is, yeah. And right before the end of the quarter, I think it wasn't Mbappe. He's one of the big stars on the French team, but one of the other big 3 stars on the team just kicked this ridiculous goal. I mean, I was stunned how he pulled this off between a guy's legs.
Yeah.
and at an angle. It was amazing, you know.
So fun, so much fun to watch, actually.
Well, there's so much. It's like they're all out there just kicking each other in the balls, basically. You know, and then somebody kicks somebody in the balls, and somebody goes, "Hey, he kicked me in the balls." And it's like, well, you just kicked him in the balls, you know. So I can't. When are they going to call a foul, and when are they not? It's like, throw a coin. Yeah, you kicked him in the balls. You can't do that.
It's
Right?
different in ice hockey. I prefer to watch ice hockey. It's really much faster, tougher, and
And meaner.
Yeah, it's Mina.
and meaner.
Yeah, I don't know how these guys get along with each other out there at all. You know, just incredible. A guy's coming in, and you know he's gonna score, so somebody fouls him. That's just the way you do it. You knock him down. You know, fuck. I have a hard time with that kind of shit. It's like, what am I watching here? You know, it's,
Yeah.
But that's Canadian ice hockey.
Oh.
only Canadian.
No, not only, but
Oh,
they have a reputation.
yeah, they're like total badasses, right?
Yeah, right.
Beat each other up. It's incredible.
Yeah, people like it when they get into fights and stuff on ice hockey.
That's the worst thing with ice hockey.
Yeah,
Gets into fights.
Yeah,
But when play is on, that it's beautiful to see.
it is true. It's true. It's amazing. And that thing is flying all over the ice like crazy. You almost can't even know where it is most of the time.
Yeah.
you probably know the joke. You know, I went to a fight and a hockey match broke out.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So what's up with that? You know. Okay, I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about today, but I think before that, I'm wondering if anybody wants to review anything like from the last one, or if they have a specific question that they wanted to get into. So if not, I'll just break out into my thing here.
Well, I just want to say one thing, that I've been studying the dojo much more frequently now, and it's amazing how much good stuff there is in there and what you have put up for us to study. And I'm just so thankful for that, because it really makes me, sometimes when I've been practicing just one lick, it opens up. So I'm sitting fooling around with the guitar on that lick for an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
Right on,
That's
man.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you write a little review and send it an email?
Absolutely.
Kelly@robbenford.com. Lars.
I will do that.
Thank you. It helps us, kind of.
Yes.
We love to hear it, because we work on it so much, and it's really important to hear that, because we're not always in touch with everybody, except for like this. We don't really know, because it's just videos that people are watching. So it's great to hear that it's actually helping, and for us to share with other people that it's helping,
I think Lars had a hand up there. Yeah, Michael will come back. Michael next.
No, I was just giving applaud actually. So
okay. Thank you.
yeah. So what Thomas said actually, because I feel the same. So that was my reaction only. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Good to see you, Lars. We're gonna get you your lesson pretty soon. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we got to get through the holidays.
Yeah, it's just a little crazy. So.
Yeah, but I agree for myself as well, so I can consume the learning and the discussion. Yeah. So we can take it in January if it's okay with you.
We'll do
I
it.
think it calmed down a little bit then.
Perfect. First 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be super, because then it's off work as well, so then I can play a little bit more than
Yeah.
So, but we can keep in touch there.
For sure.
So we can arrange something. Yeah.
Right on. So Michael had something.
Yeah, I just Yeah, thanks, Robin. I just want to follow on from what Thomas has said. I'm really appreciating how like the rate at which you're putting new things up now, because before it was going a bit too fast for me, because there was like guitar the way I learned it, then there was a no talking, and then there'd be a riff. And I was trying to cram all of that into a week, and it was probably going like a bit too fast for me. And so to go on, just to follow on from what Thomas said, because of the way the lessons are being spaced out now, it's given me time to go back and revise things that were like at the start of the dojo. And there's all these fantastic things that I've now got more time to really let sink in. So I just wanted to give feedback, like, you know,
thank you.
In relation to that, because there is so much in there, Robin. You've put so much on there's so much on the dojo site. I think that if you left it as is, I'd still have plenty for this lifetime. So,
wow, that's such a because you know we're you know, we've been traveling so much, and there's so much transition and movement and everything that we can only get to certain places to record videos at certain times, and sometimes we can't quite get them every week. And I sort of stress out, like, oh my God, people are waiting, and we need to get a video up, and so that it's been a little bit more relaxed, you know, and so appreciate that feedback. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, that's okay, Kelly. For me, for my own pace, I feel less forced, because if something's coming out every week, I'm desperately trying to keep up with it.
Great.
But this way, it's giving me time to revise. And there's, because I think there's 84 riffs up at the moment, and sometimes I'll just like spontaneously pick any riff and go, well, do I remember that? And so I'll revise that and like learn it better.
That's
because there's a lot in there. Well, I mean, for my level of playing anyhow, there's a lot in there.
Yeah, thank you so much for that feedback. It makes us relax a little bit, you know, because it's true. I mean, there's so much in there. And Robin, we were just like, oh my God, we have to put up another riff, and we haven't recorded it. We don't have a videographer here, and we just got here, and now we're traveling, and he's like, there's so much in there. We're good.
I wouldn't sweat it. I wouldn't sweat it at all. I think last week I went back and went over, I think, riff number 14, and I thought, how did I miss that the first time?
That's great.
So, yeah, and that's all I wanted to say.
I like to add one thing also, again, sorry, but you explain in a pedagogic way also what's actually happening in the league. It's a triad. It's here you are, and this is basically just this kind of, so it expands my understanding of the fretboard.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's the most, that to me is the greatest lesson you could learn, is just to know the fretboard, you know. Exactly. So that's a big part of my own personal thinking, and because I feel like I'm playing very simple things, but I know them all over the fretboard. I know I could play it here, 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 and why that would work, you know.
Yes. And obviously, you know the fretboard so well, and it's a lot of work behind that. You have been playing for a long, long time. So,
yeah, and doing little things. I hope we're presenting in the dojo well enough, you know, just little things to help people learn that, you know, how to do that, you know. Here it is, here it is, here it is, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I think I'm going to do a lesson on that exact subject. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. We have Alberto has his hand up there.
Yeah, hey guys. So, yeah, for me, the same thing happened. Like, I started the beginner course, and then I went into the intermediate one. And then I went back to the beginner because I feel like I missed something. And again, as Thomas said, there's always something you can, go back to and play and review. And everything I'm learning there is very inspiring. Now I'm learning also some riff, some lick. And you can really spend hours, because on one single, you know, lick, because it takes you to something else, you know. It's inspiring to create something new. And I start asking to myself, what if I try to do this, I don't know, up here on another section of the fretboard, or maybe just take a little piece of a riff, the thing that I like the most of it, and, you know, expand it and try different things, play, you know, have fun.
This is that's the heart of my whole approach anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like it's working, honey.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Absolutely good stuff.
It's brilliant.
Right on.
Wonderful.
Kelly, did the video work? Did the link work?
I haven't been able to look at it yet. We have a friend my best friend came into town.
From India.
From India. She just is traveling through and I've been distracted. So tomorrow I will take a look at it.
Sure.
Let you know, and we'll get on it, but we're leaving for Zurich on Tuesday. So probably won't be till next week until I can really like dive into it. But then my daughter arrives and all kinds of crazy stuff. But we'll get there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time and energy you put into it.
Yeah, no problem. Sure.
Well, okay. Yeah, I've had a couple of things running, you know, that I wanted to talk about here. And it just occurred to me that I kind of was on that subject. I think it was last week. And
they weren't watching last week.
I know. So you might not have seen it. I think it was last week, but I'm going to demonstrate something here. Hey, babe, I don't have a guitar pick.
Okay.
Could you, wait a minute, maybe? No? Right next to the bed, if, man, I got some more cool straps from this company, NASCA. They just make beautiful things. Just check that out, you know? I mean, wow. I'm digging it. Another one just like this in red. It's awesome. I'm not trying to sell you. I just happen to go, wow, I love this shit, you know? Okay, so let's see. So only one of us can do this at a time.
I think it's better when you stand up.
I do too. I think it's better if I angle myself. Because I start to move and then...
Yeah, that's good.
That's perfect. I don't want to knock into you there.
Oh, I don't need to be in it.
Okay. So I was demonstrating, and this was in the spirit of picking technique. I myself...
Turn it on.
Yeah, it's on.
Plug it in.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this was done in the spirit of picking technique. Now, I don't know how many of you struggle with picking technique, but there's a lot going on in the picking technique world, which I should say there are possibilities there that I basically ignored.
Walter was in last week, right? Yeah. So some people this is a little bit of a review, but.
Yeah, how many of you guys we talked about the picking technique?
Last week.
Yeah, who was there? Walter?
Yeah, and
No, I was in Italy.
Okay. So Alberto was there, but okay, cool.
Okay. So you know, I practice back and forth. You know, like it's the only picking technique practice that I ever did. You know, where I actually just, all right, I'm going to sit down and do back and forth. You know. And just played scales like that. I didn't practice anything else, just scales like that. And then I would play the guitar, you know. So I never really focused on my right hand picking technique. Everything developed very organically and just sort of like, you know, the mother of invention, right? Or like you go into the swimming pool, you don't know how to swim, you learn, you know. So that's how I play the guitar. It's just like, you know, but, you know, first, you know, I practice back and forth picking techniques. So You know, I would start on an upstroke, then a downstroke, then an upstroke, then a downstroke, right? And just keep doing that. Back and forth. And then I would do it up a half step, and I'd start with a downstroke. Right? And then I would go up a half step, different fingering every time. This is something we've talked about. You know, I just found a way to finger the major scale all the way up the fretboard, you know, or I should say from low E to the octave E. A different fingering every time. And that was, I was able to do that because I would use open strings sometimes, and that would just open A, you know, not this, or yeah, it has to be open A, B flat, C, open D, E, F, open G, open E, da. So that right there, you're doing different things, right? To this one. So every fingering is different, open. So again, it's just an exercise, you know? It's not practicing licks. It's not trying to do anything other than just get your fingers going, you know? And oh, I can play it a little differently, and it's just the major scale. So I can hear it. I know if I hit a wrong note, so I correct it. It's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I practice that all the way up to the, you know, the fretboard. So upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. And then I'd start playing. So what the bad habit, well, I don't know if it's a bad habit exactly, but if you play a backstroke G, a downstroke A, then because you've gone down, it's easier to come up, right? So that makes sense. And close, all on one string, easy, with the back and forth thing, you know? Starting up, down. Now this, very practical to do an upstroke here, down, up. Now to go down, when you have this, you have this backwards motion. Going down is, you know, it's kind of jarring, you know, to make that kind of a move. So if I played it up, down, up, you see how, I mean, you're not, if you were playing your guitars, it might be easier. But if I go this way, my movement is downward. So it would make more sense to play something this way. And I've left the scale, right? This is just that I'm playing now. So if I hit a downstroke, upstroke, to go to that A from this upstroke, to go to that B from this upstroke, that's a, you know, you're making a real quick U-turn. It's like a U-turn. Is everybody following me here? Yeah. If I go like, yeah. So I'm practicing making that, actually making it so that I don't do that. And this is a big deal for me at this point in my life. I'm actually working on my picking technique for the first time, probably, you know, in a way other than just this, okay, back and forth, no matter what I'm playing, it's back, forth, back, forth. There are impracticalities in that approach. Because sometimes when you go down and then you go to G and go up, it's impractical, you know? So I'm finding that I'm practicing, I'll play 2 notes on one string, so it sets me up, for a proper downstroke, so that my energy isn't going like this, So that's the gist of what I'm practicing right now with this picking technique thing. And as I say, I've never done it before, and it's really a change. It's a real change for me, and it's actually causing me to have to relax more. So I'm taking some of the tension, out of my wrist, and it's changing the way it's having an effect, I should say, on the way that I play. Because after all those years of playing that Telecaster and playing blues loud, a lot of muscling shit, and that's part of the blues. You do muscle the blues to get that expression. The blues wants that. It wants that kind of, like almost a little fight going on. And that helps express tension, and angst, and like that. So I went for it, and of course, I developed tendonitis and all kinds of shit. I have tension, up in my elbow, and those were the price that I paid. And people who really, like focus on their picking technique earlier, they don't have those problems so much, because you're playing, correctly, or like the classical guitarist, he holds his guitar in a special way because he needs that, flexibility or whatever, So, okay, I'll stop right there because we have a hand up, and, we'll continue. But Alberto, you have a question?
Yeah, so the question is, well, I always play alternate picking pretty much. But
what is alternate picking?
What is it?
What is alternate picking?
Like down and up, like always right? But what about sweeping whenever it's convenient?
Yeah, it's another technique,
Right, just whenever you need it.
Yeah.
If you're going into one direction.
Yeah.
Like from the A to the D string, for example.
Yep.
If it's convenient.
That's a real valid technique. I remember when sweeping technique actually was being invented, I mean, it might have existed somewhere, but, it became a thing, and I think it probably, I don't know who was doing it first, but I remember it. What? Do you know?
I think of Frank Gambale as being like a master of sweeping technique.
Yep, he's a perfect example. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's relatively new
Mm-mm.
in terms of guitar techniques,
Yeah, the
So-
80s, I think.
Yeah. So for me to start doing it is a big change, and I'm going to practice it some, but for me, it's such a big shift. Like even what I'm working on right now, with this, okay, if I played up, I don't jump down a string and hit a downstroke, If I pick backward on an A string, it makes more sense to pick down on the low E.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it can shape your riffs. It can help you actually create new things to play. So this is how I'm viewing it, So, and boo-doo-doo, like to do 3 notes all down or 3 notes back. A lot of relaxation is required for me. And I was like, I got to get the tension out of this situation here, So it's a real big deal. And as said, it can help you find new things to play. And if you know the major scale, any do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? If you know that, then you know how to never hit a wrong note, right? So you're just bouncing around the major scale. Just these two notes work well, you know, and that was a downstroke. So now I can hit the upstroke here. Just pick any note. It's like just banging around on the white keys of the piano, right? You can't hit a wrong note. So you can find new things to play this way. So I'm kind of excited about that. That's, I think, and it's kind of wild. It's confirming to me something. I like the sound of that note against that chord. That's what I love in music. And what it is melodies. You hit that note, you know, after that note against that chord. And there's an expression of some sort. It says something. It creates, you know, some beauty or, you know, whatever. So I've never really tried to be the fastest guitar player in the world, you know. I've tried to be the most beautiful guitar player I can possibly be. So this is exciting for me. I'm going to be forced to play new things.
Can you play some?
No.
Ah,
Well, actually, I will.
play
No, no, no. Oh, I know what you're doing. I know. I get it. Okay.
I'm always trying to get him to play.
Yeah. She says people just want to hear you play, so just play the guitar. This is the Zoom hang.
Both. I think you can show them what you're talking about by playing it.
My director.
No, but it's very interesting how the, you know, the mechanics and also the technique and the construction of your instrument can actually leads you to certain phrases you wouldn't have thought before. And then, of course, as you say, it's nice to think that that specific note, you know, creates that sound, that feeling over that whatever chord. But it's also cool to actually feel your instrument and create things.
Based on the feeling of your instrument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's beautiful, man, because that's yeah, that's right. But I always feel like there's just all these tools just laying around, you know, you just pick them up, use them, you know, play the major scale, you know, but treat it like music, play it like music, you know. I remember hearing the great jazz guitarist his name was Jimmy Smith, right? Jimmy Smith, maybe some of you might know him. Johnny Smith. And I hear this quick lick go by, and I never transcribed, and I'm going, I need to figure out what that is. So I got down on the needle, you know, record, and okay, fine. And he played the C major scale. He had played the C major scale. I spent about a half an hour figuring it out, and it was the C major scale. So it's things like that that drove me, you know, in the direction that I went, you know. If you know the C major scale, there's so much that can be done with that. Just rearranging the notes, you know, different intervals, different timings, you know. So in that spirit, and also in the picking technique, you know, I just played a riff, found kind of a pattern. So let's see. I think I was doing this in E flat. Yeah. So I don't know if E flat is a bad key for people. Do we have enough light here?
I can put them up on.
We might be kind of dark here. Let's see. So I'm basically here just playing an E flat. Let's do it in D. It's just an easier reference, I think. So I'm just playing a deep arpeggio. See, that's something a lot of people have never done, is played a D minor like that. Looks like most of you have. But you know, everybody goes D minor, okay, you know, you go like that, or maybe, you know, well, there's D minor all over the place, right? Okay, so I'm just adding a note to the arpeggio. I hit a downstroke and I can hit that upstroke, you know, I'm primed for it. Downstroke is cool, upstroke is cool.
Mute, everybody mute. Walter, can you mute your,
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you.
I just made a goof, I need to correct that. So I'm playing downstroke on the D on the A string. I'm primed for this. I'm primed for downstroke on the D string to the F. Now I'm just playing the fifth here. Right? So now, if you play D minor, you're playing the 2 chord of the key of C, right? How many people understand that? See, this is important. Okay.
John
Yeah.
and Roberto and Louise, it'd be great if we could see you. If you could turn on your cameras, it'd be great if we could see you.
So I'm playing the 2 chord of the key of C, right? So if we were to, this is a footnote, if we were just to pop down and go, right? This is the pattern. Well, I have to fit.
Yeah, but you don't have to have your head in there right now.
Oh, I didn't know I had my head in there. All right, so picking technique, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, I'm primed for that G, right? All of that makes sense with the back and forth thing. It all works. No, you know, jumping around like that. Down, da, dee. And that's a D minor triad, right? Okay. Now, because this was an upstroke, I'm primed for and each one primes me for the next one. Yep, all the down and up works well. This is a stretch for people. Right? So that's the 3 chord of C. F, G, A minor, B diminished, right? And the back and forth picking works well, and you're practicing, basically you're arpeggiating the triads of the C major scale. This is just practice. It's just good practice. And it also teaches you the fretboard, you know? We're not, our strings, you know, we stay on the same 3 strings, you know, do, da, 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 and then we just move it up. So it's just an exercise, really, both in learning the fretboard. I mean, it's a bit of a chop buster. We could do it elsewhere. You know, you can find it in different places. You get the sound in your ear. Sorry, babe. And, you know, you can use it as, you know, a musical device. I'm just kind of faking it here, but you know, phrase it in a different sort of a way. Play it fast, which I can't do. I mean, that's just a classic arpeggio, right? and take it somewhere like that, So you make it music. You're making it musical by treating it musically, and you're practicing this back and forth picking technique thing. These are the kind of things that I've practiced all my life. It's things like this, very simple, major scale, triads, scale triad, scale triad, scale triad. And in that spirit, any questions about that before I go on here? I hope you get it. I hope you understand this. It's just simple arpeggio, just takes a while. I can't sit down here and play it quickly. It takes effort. Okay, so in that spirit, I was thinking of a 2/5, like into C, It would be like the end of a blues kind of a phrase, right? D minor, G, C, top of the blues. And here's a little arpeggio. This is what we were doing down here. But we're playing here. Now this is practically straight from Giant Steps, Coltrane's Giant Steps. If you listen to Coltrane's Giant Steps, he's doing this. He's using this phrase. He does it throughout the whole song. It's exactly the same idea, So I'm playing. Okay, so it's D minor. That's it. And if you go down a half step to D flat, whoops. To C. Sounds weird. You could also play that. Just play the D flat triad. Yeah, the end of a blues. Right there, what am I playing? C triad. F triad. Right? So it's just the arpeggio. On on the very end, last two beats, do da 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 da, and you're playing da 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 dee da 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 da, right? D minor 7, G7 flat 13, C. The way that I was playing was kind of more in a funky style. I wasn't really playing much jazz leading up to it. So that phrase is a classic jazz phrase, standard jazz phrase. How about that one? I just finished it out to the G. Well, I'd have to do better than that for you guys. So, arpeggios has riffs, right? Right there. Alter G to C. You just play the. To the 7th of C. Right on the last beat, just play the triad. Beat-a-little-dome, right? That's a riff, you know, and it's an arpeggio. And if you want to do two of them, the last two beats, instead of just the one, you could go and just, you know, this is diminished. And anything diminished, you can move in minor thirds. Three, say 1, 2, 3, 4. Complete. So I did a little pickup, you know. That's like Mr. Sandman. Right? How's Mr. Sandman go? That's it, isn't it? That's what I'm doing here. Just playing the triad arpeggio. Oops.
Lars's question.
Yeah, Lars.
Yes, I'm thinking about the second part of that phrase. So the first part is the D minor, right? And then the second part there, where you're actually at the that
G
part.
altered.
Yeah, exactly. So G altered. Then we're talking about you put that above the G7 chord, right? And then you alter it so you have the minor ninth, right? Is it so? Now the second
there is
note
a minor ninth. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And a flat 13.
Flat 13, okay.
Yeah, or raised fifth, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that D flat is that chord. It's the flatted ninth, it's the seventh, it's the flatted fifth.
Yeah.
And when you do the little, you know, the third note is the raised fifth.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're playing the chord. So that's all you're doing there.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
So I should just think about altered G7. That's how I should think about it.
Well, D
So-
minor.
Yeah, D minor is this
chord.
part here. This.
Yeah. And the next one is a D flat triad over G. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah. So like it's like in the blues. It's like people go, right? Everybody does that.
Okay.
They're playing an altered 5 chord. You know, when you go up a half step,
Yeah.
G in the root, you're playing G7 raised fifth, raised 9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the tritone substitution for G. Right?
Okay, then I will go and reference Banderas or read about that again so I get 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I will dig it down and look into it there, but okay.
Yeah. It's the tritone substitution. It's exactly what that is. D flat over G. They're a tritone apart, you know. G, A, B, D flat. 3 tones above the G. So
that's one, right? So
yeah, if you play a D flat 7, you're playing G altered, you know.
Okay.
It's just G7, flat 5, you know. You know, that's literally.
And you put just a G above that chord, then
A
you
G
put the G
below.
over, below,
Yeah, D flat over G.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's like, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just C, D flat with a G in the root. Jazz. You know, you might hear that. Anybody know that song? Green Dolphin Street. Dee, dee, doo, dee. Da, da, doo, dee. Da, 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 dee. Dee, doo, da, 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 dee. Dee, da, da, dee, da, da. I never got great at that, you know. Chord melodies, I never got good at it. But that's the altered, the 2-5 thing, you know, altered. It's also B flat minor 7, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, it is.
So that tells me I can play the B flat minor. Instead of that was our riff. How about, so that's B flat, D flat, B flat minor 7. I'm just playing B flat minor. And it works beautifully. I just played the scale of B flat minor. Da 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 B flat. Let's see. Does the C work? The C doesn't work. So it's not quite. Doesn't quite work. Let's see. I could play B flat pentatonic. That works. So I just played B flat minor pentatonic against G altered. And it totally works. D flat pentatonic works against a G altered chord, for instance, you know? And that's the tritone substitution. It's the it's a half step above C, so it resolves to C very nicely, you know. That's classic, something I would do. B flat minor and D flat are the same chord with a different root, you know. Is this a pattern that people know? Just a pentatonic pattern. D, down one, up one, down one, D. Same notes, right? Or same notes, it's just the D flat's major and B flat's minor. Pentatonic works, you know, right there very nicely. Yeah, hey Thomas, did you have a question?
Yeah. Beside the practice of those fingerings and licks, it's also when you use your singing, sort of, you have a melody in, and you also sing like the melody when you play. That's part of what I have noticed in your playing, in your demonstrations and your clips.
Yeah.
And I've been inspired to try to do that much more. So that was a comment a little bit on the side of the practice now, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's ideal. I mean, I never say that to people because I think it's a bit of a stretch for some, but if you can sing it, then now you're really talking, you know, now you're in there. A lot of people are very shy, you know, about making that effort, even by themselves, I guess. I mean, it seems like if you're alone, who cares, you know? Practice it, practice singing it. It's definitely, that's ear training, you know? And you're associating the sound of the note with the place it is on the guitar. It's like, okay, you know, you know it much deeper if you do that. Alberto, did you have something?
Yeah, so the question is, over this chord, this altered chord, what scale would you play? I would go to what they call the Superlokran scale, the altered scale,
Yes.
right? Because you have
So
all the
some refer to it as the melodic minor up a half step, right?
right.
That's the scale.
That's the scale.
Yeah.
Because you have all the altered nines and
Yeah.
fifths
Yeah.
there.
And if you play that scale, within that scale, you'll find a D flat triad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll also find all the notes of a B flat minor 7. And I thought I could probably just play through a B flat minor 7 and it would work, but it actually doesn't. Not all the notes are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the notes are incorrect, but all the notes of the pentatonic scale are there.
Yeah.
The D flat pentatonic against G7, G altered works perfectly,
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm sure we're all so much used to the pentatonic scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like stuff you know already and you
Yeah.
never thought you could actually use over an altered chord.
Right. This is what we're doing here in the dojo, because you already know a lot of shit that you don't even know you know. I know that's true,
Yeah.
All kinds of things you guys, you know, but you just don't know you know.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just, those relationships, Yeah. Yeah. There's a song, I did an arrangement. It's on my Bringing It Back Home record called On That Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you may know it, but it's yeah, some of you may know that song, but there's a bridge that goes that da 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 dee, da, da. Be-doo da 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 dee. And I hit that chord, before returning to the melodies. And everybody who learns the song hears G altered, because it's the classic 2-5, D minor 7 flat 5, G altered, right? Every single person to a man who has, learned that song by ear always hears the G. And it's actually an A flat minor 6. That's what I'm doing. D, bo. And the bass player on the session said, "Hey, Robben, can we play that G altered instead of A flat minor 6? I'm like, no, of course not. Much cooler to play the A flat minor 6 because you don't hear it, It's like people are just so boxed in, 2-5-1, And for me, it makes me very happy to hear an A flat minor 6, They're all the same notes. So it's very understandable, but the bass hits that A flat. And it's like, oh, but nobody hears it as wrong. And they all hear it as just G altered, just goes right past them, But it was funny that the bassist, he goes, "Can we play that G altered?" No. It bugged him, just shit, I don't want to hit that A flat, Do I have to? Because he wanted to hear that G altered chord,
I got to go. Thank you very much for today.
You're welcome. We'll see you next time, Thomas.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah. So any questions about this? The D minor to D flat thing, anything like there you want to talk about? But it's a very classic thing. Right, I was playing that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Mr. Sandman, you know. But so we started down here. So this is perfect. See, I'm still practicing. That's a classic arpeggio. That's the same thing up an octave. There was a song on the radio years ago that began with that. That song went. It's called a Walk in the Black Forest. It was a hit, like in the late 60s, early 60s. And it's just an arpeggio, you know? It's just the notes of C. Two, five, da, 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 da. It's the do re mi song, you know. Yes, if you can kind of get into that major scale, you know. There's so many things in it. It's crazy, you know. Dig it, you know. And I think this is a really pretty good one. This, you know, this arpeggio thing. It's a lot. It's kind of work if you're not used to that, especially for me right now, because I got my hands at a bad angle. But that one, the rest of them are pretty easy. You should be able to play that arpeggio. It's just C arpeggio with an added note. You can play it over A minor, right? Relative minor. So I'm just playing a C, you know, arpeggio with that added second in it. That's it. If you want to really expand it, you know. This gets into fingerings. But, you know, for what it's worth, if anybody's interested, you know, again, this is also the right hand picking technique, arpeggiation, you know, like with this, it's downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. And because you're up, this is not a big leap. You know, I'm there. I'm actually above the A string, so no problem. Downstroke, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's it can be a nice thing if you want to practice that back and forth thing, you know, it can be nice that way. And also just learning the fretboard, arpeggiating, and then it's a lick. I actually like that better than, I don't know why, that rubs my ear a little the wrong way. Maybe if I heard the chord behind it, it wouldn't bother me. But I'm so used to the diminished that my tendency would be just to play the D flat triad. I don't know. The resolution is hipper because it's the fifth. It's not resolving to the root. Well, that doesn't. Yeah, that resolves to the root. And it's just duh. I prefer the fifth. It's more open. It's not as resolved as the C. It's another thing that I do is I kind of skate around the tonic, you know, because the tonic is just, it's over. You know, it's just done. Well, we've been at it for 1 hour and 15, so I think.
Tell me where we should like stand.
Say again?
Like in front of the main doors.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, sorry, Robben, this is John from Chicago, but I'm in London. Yeah, so
Wow.
I apparently got started late with you guys. I thought we were kicking off
Yeah.
10, so
We did start at 10.
so I'll go back and
And Paris.
check it out.
You're in England.
Yeah,
You're an hour, it's an hour difference.
thought
Yeah.
we were the same.
Sorry, man.
So I'll go back and check it out.
That's British
Sounds like
mean
a great
time.
conversation.
Well, thank you. We did cover some ground here.
And the whole lesson, you know, is in the Zoom, the recording.
Yeah.
To it, you know, in the Zoom, it's there.
Yeah, I've been going back through a number of the Zooms and some good stuff in there. So
You can listen.
many thanks.
You're
And
welcome.
we're gonna keep it, we'll keep this open, we're gonna sign off, but we can keep it open and you guys can all hang out and talk whatever you wanna do together. It'd be great.
Yeah, we leave it open for people to hang if they like.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yo.
you.
Y'all have me practicing. For real, I got to be ready when I come here, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
All right,
Enjoy
everybody.
your Sunday.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Bye.
Oh, playing the arpeggio. All right. All right. Come join us. I meant to buy some. You know that yesterday. We can get to it.
That was so cool to listen to, my gosh.
Yeah. A lot going on there.
Non-musician. Yeah, me too. I mean, I listen and I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm just talking Greek, and even after all this time, I've been listening to him teach all the lessons and everything. I still have no idea. Yeah.
Well, it is Greek.
It's Greek. It's Greek
Yeah.
to me.
You have to know the Greek language.
I have no idea, but it's really cool because everyone's learning from you, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing.
This from
It's it's a great idea too.
yeah.
Yeah, it really works online.
Yeah.
It's giving me
Pretty
ideas
well.
about
Oh yeah.
the way that, you know, I mean, the world is changing so much now, and it's like, what a great way to start interacting with your creative process. I really, it's hard to meet with people in person.
Well, you certainly can't meet with that many. Now, that's like the
Yeah.
but like this, you know, where you know, it's made this whole thing so personal. It really makes it fun, you know, kind of lightens the whole thing up. Has made it not overly serious, but we can definitely discuss music too.
Yeah, there were, well, there, I mean, anyway, I don't think that it was on this, they're giving, like, they were a musician and sounding, they're really